Visiting Ouray and Telluride and not sure what there is to do? We're Matt and Cheryl, and we have spent the last 10 days traveling around Colorado. And today we want to teach you 10 things you need to know before you visit Ouray and Telluride.
Okay, so the first thing, let's just cover the overview of these two amazing mountain towns that you definitely want to visit. So these are located in the San Juan Mountains of southwestern Colorado. And they are, as the crow flies, they're actually not all that far away from each other, but there's a big mountain range in between the two that you can see right behind us right now. And so that means it's an hour ride, an hour drive from Ouray to Telluride. Although, we'll learn later that you can actually go over the mountains if you are an off-roader. Now, these are both located on the San Juan Scenic Byway, which is a loop that starts in Durango and goes through Silverton, Ouray, Ridgway, Telluride, Cortez, and Mancos, Colorado. This is a spectacular, spectacular loop, the San Juan Scenic Byway. It takes about 5 hours to drive the entire byway. So if you're in the San Juan Mountains, you'll be on this byway, and you are definitely going to want to spend some time in Ouray and Telluride.
And the first time we were out here was 11 years ago, and we were completely blown away by these two mountain towns. In fact, when we came out here, we thought these towns are both amazing and they're both pretty similar. But as we were talking to people, at least in Ouray today, we were told that they're actually kind of rivals. Ouray is a pretty conservative town. They're really into recreation. And then Telluride, they're pretty big into being environmentalists.
So Telluride is a ski town. Ouray is more of a recreation off-road town.
All right, but let's get into what there is to do in each of the towns. So we're going to go in order, the order that we did it today.
Yeah.
So we drove into Ouray this morning on the $1 Million Highway. That is one of the biggest things for Ouray. It goes between Durango and Ouray, and oh my gosh, it's our favorite drive in Colorado. It is so beautiful. There's awesome switchbacks with awesome views without being completely terrifying. There are some terrifying drives in Colorado, but we didn't think this was one of them.
No, it's just stunning all throughout. By the way, this is part of the San Juan Scenic Byway. It's one arm of it, basically. So the $1 Million Highway. Drive that and drop down into Ouray. And as you drop down in there, you'll see the sign for Ouray that says it's the Switzerland of America. And I have to tell you, years ago when we visited, I had never really known anything about Ouray at all. And we were looking at a brochure because we were trying to figure out where to stay the next night. We were in Cortez. We were trying to figure out where to stay. And we pulled up this pamphlet at our hotel, and it showed the most scenic, perfect image of people in a hot tub enjoying the mountains. It's commented to my dad. I said, "There's no way. That's not. They just framed it right. That's stupid." And we got to Ouray and stayed at that place, and it was just like that. So I really do think Ouray, even though they don't have like Swiss architecture like a lot of little villages around the West do, around the Rockies, they kind of have a good little claim for being the Switzerland of America because they are tucked in the coolest little valley.
By the way, the next thing to do here in Ouray is to sit in the hot springs. There are hot springs all over here, and one of the things we loved about the place we stayed was we were at the Box Canyon, I think, hotel or motel, but at our hotel, they actually had hot spring like barrels that could fit 2 or 3 people that we could sit up on the mountain and just overlook the town. It was amazing. But
Slice of heaven.
if you're not staying at a hotel like that, and this wasn't that fancy, it fit our family's budget back in the day.
Yeah.
But there's an actual established pool in town, and then there's some other more private hot springs you can also go to.
The big pool is historic. It's been around for over 90 years. It's all like natural hot spring water. They have a pool and they have really big hot spring areas. And then again, if you want like a more intimate type of a hot tub experience, then you can go to some of these other places. So that's one thing. The next major thing to do in Ouray is to visit Box Canyon Falls. This is a really cool waterfall that's kind of in a little gorge or like in the mountain. So reminded us of Switzerland too, because we went to Trummelbach Falls in Switzerland this year, and it was very similar. Not quite as magnificent, but very similar, and a really wonderful gorge.
But you walk on this metal bridge above the falls, and it's really easy to get to. It's only 500 feet. I mean, it's not a long walk. It's also interesting to me that this is owned by the city. It's not run by a national park or Forest Service or anything like that. It's run by the city. It was really great. I loved it.
Yeah, just to know, there is a entry fee. Currently it's $7 per person to enter. What's cool is you could just do a nice flat walk, like it's super, super easy. You walk out on the bridge and you see the waterfall, but then you can actually go down a bunch of stairs and get to the bottom of the waterfall. You can do a little nature walk there. We did a little scramble up on the hill to a bridge that was over the canyon. And so we saw it from kind of like 3 different viewpoints in a way. And so that was really cool.
But none of it was like extreme hiking. It was pretty fun.
Yeah, just little short hikes.
And the other great thing is that Ouray is a small town, and there's this other great hiking trail if you're a little bit more of a hiker that's 6 miles long that goes around the perimeter of the town called the Perimeter Trail. And this Perimeter Trail, you can hop on and hop off at several spots in town if you don't want to hike around the whole thing. But there were the Cascade Falls Canyon that we also went to while we were in Ouray. That's part of that Perimeter Trail. And we'd met people that they weren't doing the whole thing, but they just kind of hop on and hop off. But I mean, a really cool trail. If we would have had more time, I would have been begging Matt to go on that with me.
Yeah, that would be really kind of a must do if you have the time. The Cascade Falls was fantastic. That was like 90 or 100 feet tall, something like that. Okay, next thing is Yankee Boy Basin. This is, okay, so Ouray, this is the important thing to know. We mentioned Ouray is known for the recreation. The big thing is to get off into the backcountry on an ATV or a Jeep. Now you can do this by renting one, or you can do this by doing a tour. And so we saw a bunch of people doing tours and renting them, right? So we rented an ATV and we rode up into Yankee Boy Basin. This was something I wanted to do when we came 11 years ago, and I kind of missed out on it. We finally got it done this time.
It was incredible. We were in our very first Can-Am. It was a fun ride. We're here in September, so we had all of these yellow aspens we were looking at. We know that if we would have been here in the summer, we would have been seeing waterfalls and wildflowers, but the leaves were also cool. So if you're here in the summer or in the fall, you're gonna see really cool things. We did actually see a waterfall and we got to eat our lunch by it. This is rated an easy trail, so it wasn't too extreme or dangerous. But yeah, if you're not real comfortable with a four-wheeler or an ATV, they do have tours you could pay for, and then you don't have to worry about the whole safety thing.
In fact, we saw a few trucks driving up in there, and also like a Subaru driving up in there. I mean, I wouldn't have done it, but yeah, some people were up there. So incredibly scenic. I mean, really cool. We absolutely love Ouray, and I thought this is easily my favorite mountain town of all. And then we came over to Telluride again. Now we came here 11 years ago as well. I had kind of forgotten how gorgeous Telluride was.
Well,
it was just awesome.
Something that's really special about Telluride is you are right in the middle of some towering mountains.
So let's talk about Telluride a little bit. We are in Telluride right now. We're shooting this whole video in Telluride with some of the best mountains ever behind me. I just love this place. So
Telluride's a ski town, and what I think is special about it is we've never come here to go skiing because it's a little too rich for our blood. But we love to come here in the summer because it's actually a really great inexpensive activity for us. But just being in town is cool because you're in this valley surrounded by these towering, gorgeous mountains. And so everywhere you look, you have beautiful views. It kind of reminded us of Banff a little bit.
Yeah, I have to rewind a little bit and then we'll talk about what there is to do here in the town today. But one of the things that's really cool about Telluride and special for me is that this is like an Old West town. And of course, there's a lot of them all around the Rockies that were mining towns, and they were really lawless and stuff like that. One of the cool things about this was like Butch Cassidy's first bank robbery was in Telluride. In fact, the town was so wild and crazy in the early days that the nickname for it was "To Hell You Ride." That's how what they used to call it. So Telluride is Butch's first big robbery, and then he ran off to Utah and hid out. And the funny thing is, I've been to several different Butch Cassidy sites and robberies and things like that. So I had to kind of get back here and relive the history. But that is one of the really cool things to do here in Telluride that I wish we could have done. In the visitor center, they have a self-guided historical walking tour of the town. So that is pretty cool. But then you can also pay $20 or $15 for a guided history tour that's done by a really good historian and a guy who's kind of an actor. This is out of the Telluride Historical Museum. Unfortunately, they did it earlier today, and we got here a little later, so we missed it. But I'll have to do that another time.
Yeah, and I wanted to give you just a really handy tip that, as we said, we've been traveling through Colorado towns the last 10 days, and you know, going into every town's visitor center is worth your time. It's like you get your own private tour guide. Mm-hmm. You go in there, you tell them what you like to do, and you tell them how much time you have. And those, I mean, without fail, those employees are money. They know exactly what to tell you to do, and it's really cool. So many resources and really worth your time. But I want to tell you what my favorite thing to do in Telluride is, which is to ride the free gondola. So many of these Colorado mountain towns have gondolas, and they cost 30 bucks a pop at least.
Like, at
least. I mean, it can be pretty pricey to ride the gondola to get into the mountains, but that is not the case in Telluride. They are very into protecting the environment. You know, they're hoping this alleviates some of the traffic congestion and pollution, and so anyone can ride the gondola. And the hours on these gondolas are late. We're here in the off season on a weekday. Gondola closes at midnight. It's at least 12 minutes long. You can take a second one to the market. Like, you can actually go to the grocery store on the gondola.
Yeah.
I mean, it transports over 3 million people a year, and views on it are, I I would say second to none. I can't think of another gondola I've been on where I've been like, this is prettier than the one in Telluride. And this one's free. I cannot believe it. And
It is
it's a great way to
incredible.
spend your time. And the places it takes you to, like the little village up top is nice.
We came here 11 years ago with our family, and we were young and poor, and we have 4 children. And so we were always looking for free things to do here. So we came here and we did a hike, which we'll talk about in a minute. And then we were so happy to find this free gondola ride. Went up into the mountains, and like, it was such an amazing family activity for free. I mean, it made our day. It was so great.
And on the gondola, like, it's accessible for anyone. Like, if you have a dog, no problem. They have pet-friendly gondolas. If you need something that's like wheelchair or walker accessible, they have little ramps to help you get on. I mean, like, anyone could ride the gondola. It's a great activity.
And we recommend riding all the way over to the market. That was fun. That was really
go
fun.
to the grocery store.
Yeah. Okay, next up is Colorado's tallest free-falling waterfall. This is Bridal Falls, and it is located up in that canyon there behind us. And you can get there, you can actually drive right up to the waterfall if you have a high clearance 4-wheel drive vehicle. By the way, that's a little hot tip for you. If you're visiting Colorado or Utah, either of these states, it's really good to have a 4-wheel drive high clearance vehicle to get to a few more things, okay? Especially if you're in the southwestern corner of Colorado. Now, so you could drive up there if you want to, but last time we came with our kids, we hiked up there. It's about a little over a mile long to get to the falls, and it really is in a spectacularly gorgeous valley. And then the waterfall is fantastic too. It's over 360 feet tall, Colorado's tallest free-falling waterfall, and what a great activity with beautiful views of the valley.
My second favorite thing to do in town is the Riverwalk. There is a beautiful dirt trail that goes right along the river. And so, I mean, if you want to go along the main street and look at the shops, go for it. But if you're more of a nature person, that Riverwalk is totally where it's at. It is really, I mean, the water is so clear. What I think is so crazy about Colorado is you don't need to be in a national park to get some amazing natural beauty. And that's how I felt walking along the Riverwalk in Telluride. It's just, the water's so clear. You can tell it's cool and crisp, and you've got the trees. I just love it.
Now, one hot tip here, when you come in to visit Telluride, signs will point you to free parking. So this is another nice thing about it. They have a lot of free parking here. So you can park in a couple of free lots, and then there's a shuttle that will take you around town. Now, the town's small enough, you can actually park in the free parking, walk along the river all the way to town, walk back through Main Street, hit the gondola and up, and walk back to your car. Like, that's an amazing day. But if you want to, you could take the shuttle through town a little bit, and so that's free. I mean, hey, that's all fantastic. And last time we came, we did that.
They come like every 15 minutes. It's called the Galloping Goose or something.
Galloping Goose Shuttle. Yep. Yeah, it is so clean and so nice. And by the way, we're in the town park right now. And last time we were here, we played horseshoes in the park. They have a lot of concerts. So Telluride's really known for their music, and so they're always having live music going on somehow, somewhere. Like in the park here, they have some amphitheaters and things like that. They'll have it downtown. While we were here today, they had a Corvette show, like a Corvette
in colors is what it was called, because we've got the colors in the mountains and the Corvettes in town.
In Colorado. Like, yeah. So that was pretty cool. They've always got something going on here. And so you're no shortage of things to do in Telluride or Ouray. The biggest mistake, I'll tell you this right now, not giving yourself enough time in these two towns.
Yes, so both times we've done this, we've kind of had to squish it in. Like today, we did $1 Million Drive plus Ouray plus Telluride all in one day. And it's been a fantastic day. I mean, we've ridden gondolas, we did an amazing drive, we did an ATV ride. I mean, like, today's been a full day of fun.
Yeah.
But I know that we could totally accordion this out and spend a day or two in each of these towns and do some really cool stuff. Like, I'm sad we didn't get to do the perimeter hike in Ouray or the Bridal Falls hike here.
Yeah.
And I mean, that's just the things I like. But I mean, great restaurants here, tours, activities, and there's a lot to do.
We even saw they had rentals for golf carts to drive around town in a golf cart. So
if you don't want to walk.
Yeah, I'm like curious about what that is now. But yeah, that's been our biggest mistake. Both times we visited is we didn't allot enough time for these two towns. Now, if you're visiting like the San Juan area, Durango is a really good home base to visit all of these amazing sites. But if you're able to stay a night or two in Ouray or even Telluride, they're probably much more expensive, but they would be they're the best areas. They're so cool.
And if you are looking for more beautiful scenery in Colorado, you need to check out the Durango Silverton train. Watch our video and see if it's for you. Thanks for watching.
Take care.